EP's mobile coverage is brought to you by Gameloft, makers of Asphalt 8 Airborne, which you can play on your Android or iOS device for free right now. Square Enix is taking mobile gaming very seriously. The latest case in point is Chaos Rings 3, which is a massive role-playing game in a very, very big role-playing series now on the iPhone. This is a bit different than the previous Chaos Rings games.
I mean, this is just something that Square Enix does, and they know how to do, and you can see their formula at work here. They've done this before, though, even in the App Store, where it's a lot of dough. You're spending a lot of dough to jump into this game. We should say off the top, this is $23 in the App Store.
Which
is
a
lot of kashish.
It's a lot of dough, and it's, you know, especially compared to everything else that you can get out there, but it's also a lot of game, and it's also a little bit weird because in the fundamental kind of game sort of sequences within this title, you can kind of see that perhaps this started life as a free-to-play type of diversion with lots of time-limited little bonuses that you could buy and things like that. Now you use in-game currency, but it feels like at one point in the development of this title, you would have paid for those things as you went along. But now you get the whole deal for $23.
Which is good. I just hope they don't implement that later.
No,
like
I don't think they will.
Because you're spending a lot of dough here, and I really hope that they don't. But putting that aside, this game feels like, and I've played a Chaos Rings game before, it really has this feeling of Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts, like they kind of had a baby and this is what they made.
Right.
Because you have the turn-based strategy here when you're playing, when you're fighting.
Yeah,
with random battles that you run into along the way. Those are fun and those are entertaining for sure, and I'm into the characters, and you have this whole system of genes, and that's something that's new.
Which are playing cards, and some of them you can fuse together, and they're basically the magical powers that you can pull out, and it depletes the magic power that you have. And those effects are all beautiful and fun, and that's the other thing about this game is, like, production quality-wise, this is some of the best stuff you're gonna find on an iPhone game right now.
It's true. It looks really good, but you have to ask yourself, though, how much time are you going to be spending with this thing?
Right.
Because if you can't spend the time with it, there really is no point in you doling out that kind of cash. Like, you really need to invest into this game.
You gotta be into Japanese RPGs and mobile gaming and have the time to play this and not be playing it on the consoles. But it is interesting to see that Square is, you know, not so quietly shifting its focus in this direction. This is available for Android, it's available for iOS, and, you know, quite frankly, this is some of the strongest mobile role-playing you're gonna get right now. It's incredible.
It's true. It is a lot of fun, and it did keep me entertained. I absolutely love the characters here as well. But it's not a surprise to me. I knew exactly what I was getting into when I got into this game. But for anybody out there who loves Square Enix, who loves these JRPGs, yes, of course, pick up this game. Are you kidding me? You're gonna have such a great time. It's just not a game for me.
I think there's tremendous value for the dollar in this equation.
Well, yeah, of course, especially if you're comparing it to a console game, which this essentially is in your iPad.
It's a console game, I mean, it really is. I ended up having to skip through some of the battles because of repetition. Got a little boring that way, but I've always felt that way with a lot of random battles like this.
Right.
I still think this is remarkable, and I think it's amazing that Square Enix is not taking this lightly. You know, they're taking this platform and saying, no, premium games can exist very well there. Thank you very much. I applaud
the effort here, and I applaud the team that made this game for sure. It's just not a game for me. What are you scoring Chaos Rings 3?
It's an 8 for me. What are you giving it?
It's a 7.